live once, but you get to serve twice. Tennis is not only a sport with competitive players in tournaments, but it's a lifelong hobby. It is important to touch on this topic so you can learn of not only a game, but the perfect combination of action and an atmosphere of total tranquility. I am able to teach you of this sport because of my experience as a player. During this speech, we'll touch on the history, tournaments, today's top players, and the skills of the game. Before we touch on the game, let's dig into the history. Created by monks, tennis dates back thousands of years. In the beginning, there was no racket, only your hand, and soon after that, a leather glove, a wooden racket like here, and then rackets as we have today. Like the racket, the ball went through many evolutions as well. It started out as wood and leather, like this right here. It eventually evolved into what we have today as well. The game was very popular in France, where it was adopted by the royal family, and they called it tenez, which was T-N-E-Z, which actually meant play. In 1874, Walter Winfield received the patent rights for the game and the equipment, and on the same year, the first courts were developed in the United States. In 1877, Wimbledon was held in London, and in 1881, the USTA, or the United States Tennis Association, was created to help regulate the rules and also the tournaments in the United States. Later to follow, the US Open was held along with the French Open, the Australian Open, the Davis Cup, and the Fed Cup. Now that we have an idea of where tennis began, let's see who plays it today. According to the tennis stats on CNN Sports Data, on the men's and women's rankings, 2 players stand out. Those players are Serena Williams. She has 30 Grand Slam titles and over 14,000 accumulated points. And the boys is Rafael Nadal. He has 14 Grand Slam titles and over 22,000 accumulated points through his career. It's no secret that these 2 are the best, but let's look at how they play their game. The game is based on factors such as teams, equipment, the court, and the scoring. During tennis, you play either singles or doubles. Singles has 1 person on each team, and doubles has 2 people on each team or side of the net. Tennis is a game of etiquette, and the proper equipment is necessary. You must have at least 2 balls in your possession, as long as a racket, obviously. And the girls usually wear skirts with little tank tops or dresses, and the boys wear shorts and usually like athletic t-shirts types. According to the rules of tennis by the USTA, a court is rectangle, 78 feet in length. And for doubles, so between this line and this line, it is 27 feet wide for singles, and for doubles between the top and the bottom is 36 feet wide. 2 lines, 21 feet from the net on each side of the net are drawn, which are parallel to the net, and the net is held by 3.5 feet tall poles. A standard game is based on a scoring of the no points being read love, the first point being read 15, the second point being read 30, the third point being read 40, and the 4th point being read game. If each player has won 3 points, the score goes into deuce. Once the score is in deuce, then if the person wins the next point, winning the next point, it goes into advantage. If that same person wins the point after that, they win the game. But if the opposite person wins the next point, it goes back into deuce, and so on, back and forth until someone can accumulate those 2 extra points. In conclusion, we have only summarized the bare minimum of this sport. by looking into the histories, players, tournaments, and game. But there is much, much more. So next time you decide that you want to get with a tennis player, you should remember that in their head, love means